I'm going to review this Disney Plus series. It dropped yesterday, or May 1st. When was May 1st? I think today is the 3rd. Yeah, tomorrow's the 4th. Today's the 3rd. Means I'm staying up tonight and watching the series finale. And the first episode of the Mandalorian documentary, because that's dropping tomorrow. So, if you like this series, this documentary, if you're interested in checking this out, it's a good time to get Disney Plus. This pandemic, there's things to watch. There's things that you can't get anywhere else. This is one of them. There's The Mandalorian. There's Clone Wars. There's that Mandalorian documentary. There's that Jeff Goldblum National Geographic show. Those are things I primarily watch on Disney Plus in terms of original content. Jeff Goldblum just because it's Jeff Goldblum, not because it's good. But this is good. This is a show about this guy. He's a prop collector, and he's going out to hunt down these rare artifacts from Disney movies that have I just drove by in this dirt bike. I apologize. But it's about this guy, and he's hunting down these props from rare Disney movies. Some of these have been lost over time, and so it's kind of gives you some insight to the making of these movies. Some of these are better than other episodes. What's interesting about this series is all the episodes dropped at once, which I thought was really strange, because even that Mandalorian documentary is not dropping all at once. So it's like I think this is like the only series where all the episodes dropped at once. Which is like, I kind of would have liked to watch all this week to week and then done like a season review or series review. Because this is more of a series review, because I guarantee my thoughts will remain the same from the next season, if there is a next season. But episode 1 and episode 2, which is Tron and Mary Poppins, are the best. Because they're just movies that the stuff that they find is super interesting. Like Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins was a movie that came out, I believe, in the 40s or the 50s. I don't remember, but it's a very, very, very old movie. So a lot of these props are not saved for time. So you see this guy trying to hunt down props, and some of these props don't even exist anymore. And that was very interesting. It gives you the insight into how Walt made this movie, what inspired him to make the Disney parks. Because Mary Poppins inspired him to make the Disney parks. And that was something I didn't even really know. I think I'd heard that before, but maybe I just didn't remember. But it was like interesting to find that out. Tron was super interesting because you learn so much backstory in the making of this movie and how much care and love these people involved with it had. And the director actually comes in this episode, and you see the director there, and that was really great to watch. You got to see the director talk about his experience with the film, things he would have changed. That was really fun to watch. You get to see a lot of the cool props and things he saved from the movie, and just how they made, and it's so much insight in the making of the movie, and it's really great stuff. Mary Poppins is also great because you see a lot of the people who react to seeing these props, like the little girl Jane. When she's older now, she was crying because she saw that outfit that she had not seen since she was a little girl, being a Mary Poppins decades ago, and so it's like that was, these were genuine reactions, and it's just really great to watch. Episode 3, I'm gonna go every episode. Episode 3 was also great. This one was about Nightmare Before Christmas, and Nightmare Before Christmas, you got to see Danny Elfman, and he talks about how he did his singing voice, because he's also the voice for Jack. He's also a singing voice. He's also the composer. You also meet the lady who wrote the script, who apparently Danny Elfman and her were dating all at the same time. Sorry, a truck just drove by. And that was really interesting. You got to see more insight into the production of Nightmare Before Christmas. Of course, I enjoyed that because that is my second favorite movie of all time. Episode 4 was also pretty good. This was the making of the Black Pearl, or Pirates Pirates of the Caribbean, the Black Pearl. Only thing I didn't like is when they go on to the ride. This is the ride that inspired it all. They don't even acknowledge that the ride has been changed to fit the movie more. And so, yes, there are props from the movie on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, but they should have mentioned more about that, how the ride had changed because to be inspired by the movie. It would have been more appropriate to bring up that information. I think that was something that was really missed out on, but for the most part, I enjoyed that. Episode 5 was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It was the shortest episode, and I think this was an episode that was alright. They got Rick Moranis back, which was interesting, because Rick Moranis doesn't act anymore. He's supposedly coming back for Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, which is weird that he's not coming back for, Ghostbusters. Afterlife, I think is what it's called, but you know, it was nice seeing him again. Love Rick Moranis, Little Shop of Horrors. And the guy mentioned Strange Brew on this Disney show, which I thought was funny. That was just so freaking funny. But you know, he was great, and I love that. And then episode 6 was Narnia. Narnia I just wasn't that interested in because they kept saying the same crap over it again. There wasn't too much insight into the production. There was some insight that was interesting, but most of it was like them saying, man, they did such a great job adapting the book, and they didn't really explain why, and it was really boring for parts of it, and I just didn't get into this one. And it's like, you see a lot of swords and crap, and it's like, that's cool, but like, I didn't care about it too much. If that interested you, it's also, keep in mind, I'm not interested in Narnia. I don't care about Narnia. I don't care about the universe. I don't care about the characters. I don't care about the books. I've never read the books. I'm not interested in Narnia in general. So, you know, that's probably swaying my opinion on that a little bit. Episode 7 was Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which was another one that you got a lot of insight into making. But since a lot of this was toon animation, you know, they didn't. I don't think they really brought up some of the important props that I thought would have been a lot more interesting to bring up. Like there's like Roger, how they got him in scenes is they had like a wire, like a kind of like almost like the puppet of Roger that's bent into the shape of Roger, and like Eddie, what's his name? Bob Hoskins was at to work off of him, and that was really great, and it was really smart how they did that. You know, they had something for them to work off of, and there's a lot of things that they should have. There's a lot of more props that they should have gone into. They went into some cool props, but it wasn't that interesting. And then the next one, and final one, I can't remember what this one was. It's probably not. Oh, it's the Muppet movie. This is the worst one by far. First off, the props they had down were cool. That was really smart. But then when they get the person to see some of the props, they bring in Gonzo. Now, when I say Gonzo, you're probably thinking of his puppeteer, because that would make sense. This is a documentary series. No, they bring in the character Gonzo, performed by his puppeteer, which is idiotic. This is a documentary series. This is you know, this is real. They brought in these actual people to react genuine throughout most of these episodes. But then they just brought in Gonzo. Like, Gonzo's like a real person who's going to react correctly. React like a real person. Like it's a puppet. You know, at the end of the day, they're very believable puppets, but they're still puppets. It was really stupid. I enjoyed this series for the most part, but I think some of this was a little too fake. Like, obviously, some of this was like, you know, very edited, and obviously probably some of the stuff, more information that would have given you a lot more insight would probably cut out, because Disney is also going to be very secretive about their projects, which is something I don't like about Disney all that much, but I understand, I guess, a little bit, but I also don't. But I think it's a good series. I think you should check it out. I enjoyed it for what it was. It's a fun series. I watched all the episodes. I watched them all in about a day. They're about 30 minutes each, so it's like you can watch 4 episodes in 2 hours, so it'd be about 4 hours or something like that. So it's not that long to watch all these episodes. It's a fun series, but I just think it could have been a little bit more And also, they should have just shot more. The show was shot in 2019, and it's kind of weird how all these Disney Plus shows are like, well, it's only 8 episodes. It's like, why? I mean, you guys don't have enough content that you can only make 8 episodes. Like Netflix can do that because they have millions of other shows, right? That they're original on there, but Disney doesn't have that, and it's like, come on, it's really stupid.